Hello, everybody. It is me, Everskatuzi, and today we're here talking about Arifureta from Commonplace, World's Strongest, Episode 6, The Worthless Rabbit. Okay, now, Shia. Shia in animated form is literally the most annoying character ever. Like, I thought that she was annoying in the manga, but seeing her animated made her even more annoying. For some reason, there's people that like this character. I don't like this character at all. There must be, these must be like the diehard fans of Arifureta that, like, for some reason like her, even though that I find her the most annoyingest thing ever. And then I like how she was able to seduce Hajime with her breasts in this episode. Like that scene never happened in the manga, like at all. Like he never felt anything towards her in the manga, like so far, especially from what I've read, because I haven't read any further. I still haven't read volume 4 yet, but I have read volume 3 from her introduction point in that whole entire manga. He like totally denounces her the whole entire like issue. I don't know if in the light novel it was different when she got introduced. Like maybe he did like her a little bit, we saw how she got like that. And we saw Yue get angry, and she like started like saying how like she was gonna beat Shia up and stuff like that. And we also saw how Yue was also able to like as a joke turn Shia into like an ice block with just a stare of her eyes. We also saw Hajime summon his creation magic again in order to summon the motorcycle for them to ride on in the gorge that they're at. I really like it how I didn't really notice this in the manga, but maybe it was maybe this is the same as it was in the light novel. But we saw how when they got out of like the labyrinth, they appeared upside. They appeared on the side of a cliff, and then got launched down to the bottom of like the at the bottom of the cliff in like this little gorge area in this valley. And I'm just like, dude, like that, because I did not notice that whatsoever in the manga. That like I had no idea that even happened. I thought that they just appeared out of the ground or something like that. Because like the description of what was said in the manga was a lot different from what I remember. I think that they just appeared. I think that they just used it and then they appeared outside. But in this, they like fell from the side of it and then just appeared. The dinosaur looks exactly the way that it did in the manga. Like as soon as I saw that, as soon as I saw the monster, I was like, okay, that's gonna be the dinosaur. And as soon as I saw it, it looked exactly the same as the manga, except for the detail. Like there's definitely a lot more detail in the manga than it is in this anime. Like I'm right now I'm at the 9 minute mark because I've only watched 9 minutes, and I like it how like this forest looks more detailed than like than most of the monsters. Maybe it's because that monster wasn't was that monster CGI or was it not CGI? Like I like can't tell whatsoever. Oh, never mind, never mind. The dinosaur was like animated just like the other people. It wasn't used with CGI like at all. That's kind of cool how they went that route instead for like they only use it for big monsters instead of these little monsters. But sometimes they do it as little monsters in some series. The voice actor for Shia I think is pretty good. I recognize that voice, but I can't really pinpoint it. I'd have to look at the voice actress's name and then be able to figure it out by like looking at the characters. But like it is recognizable. Same thing with Yue's. Same thing with Hajime's was the voice that I could just recognize instantly. That from that voice. We also saw how when Hajime defeated the dinosaur, like Kalia was trying to stop him, and like I remember that exactly from like the manga. It's like how is he supposed to help you without violence? Like that would make absolutely no sense. And she's just like, wow, you can't use violence against it. Then he just shoots it, but when he shoots it, they still do that thing where the bullet just like hits the head and it falls over. Where I'm just like, dude, oh my god, this gives me like like hurts my head so much when I see this. 'Cause I'm just like, damn it, man, when he shoots them in the manga, they like explode. They explode. They explode. They explode. Like man, those head are like they're supposed to be bloodshed and everything. Like why? How is it just hits their head and anything? Like man, I hope that we saw the dragon we saw the dragons flying around like later on at the 9 minute mark with the other Halia tribe bunny beastmen people. I hope that those look the same as they do in the manga because I thought they looked cool, but I hope they don't look dumb in this. We also saw how Shia has the ability to predict the future. When for some reason I guess this is in my head because of like stuff that happened like 2 or 3 years ago, but whenever I think of characters they're able to see the future, I only think of Marvel because of like Marvel Civil War 2. Like that's just stuck in my head all the time now. But other than that, if I were to say that if I were to talk about Shia any more than with her being annoying, is that even though that she is annoying, those scenes are funny and they do work here. I especially like it how at least they did show late, even though that they didn't show him exactly hitting her. We saw Hajime kick her away or like push her off of him because like Shia kept on trying to like grab onto Hajime's leg and wouldn't let go. Other than that, the first time of this episode is pretty interesting, and I recognize most of it, and I hope that the rest of it is the same. Okay, so I just watched from around 9 minutes to about 16 minutes, and all I gotta say is wow. Okay, this that was trash. That was just literally, that was garbage. That was really garbage. That montage, that montage from about 9 minutes to about 10:30 to about 11 minutes, that was a little bit garbage. They skipped over so much. Like, man, was that scene with the guards? Was that like was that manga only? Was that manga only? And did that not happen in light novel? Because if that did happen in light novel and in the manga, I was like, they freaking skipped it. I love that part, even though that it was like, even though that people might not like it because it was like him being his edgy self and stuff like that. I enjoyed that scene. Especially when I reviewed that portion of the manga, man, like man, I was like, is this here's a comedy? Is this here's a fucking comedy? Like man, everything about it is just such a freaking comedy. Like what is this? So different from the manga, but can people tell me is the manga so different from the light novel? Is that why this translation is so different for me? So I need to start reading the light novel so that way I can see this comedy aspect that I should know of. Man, that song during the portion where it's like him training, like when it's like UA training Shia and then Hajime training like the rest of the Holly tribe into these beasts. These beasts, I thought that they were a lot cooler in the manga. Here it just seems like the very comedic, like childlike stuff. Like, and in my head as I was watching this portion, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is even going on? But man, that song didn't work whatsoever during these scenes. Like, man, that song was so out of place. Like, what is this? I even went on to my anime list thing. I was like, I need to look at the genres. Do they write? Did they put the right genres? I was like, comedy isn't here. Why is this such a freaking comedy? What is this? This is a freaking children's show. There's stuff that's happening that's like that edgy dark stuff, but it's such in such a childlike manner that I'm just like, dude, like I've seen like all this stuff before. I like man, like when it showed like the dragons that were attacking the tribe, they just made them generic CGI pterodactyls look nothing like they did in the manga. I don't know how they described it in the light novel, but dude, and then we saw them like do a montage of them like in the forest. Like before they had to get out of the gorge and then they're at the forest, but the tribe is literally in the forest. They're literally at the edge of the forest. But in the manga they were like in the gorge, sort of towards like this open plain field that they had to go to out of the gorge in order to get to the forest. But now they're just like, nope, nope, the forest is in the gorge somewhere. Who knows? We saw them feeding monsters in there. We saw Hajime talking to Shia about like the reason for why he's with Yue, and then Shia decides to go on an adventure with them because she wants to do it, and she also does it because she loves him. That's totally different from the manga. In the manga, it makes it a little bit more like there's noteworthy because there's like 3 or 4 chapters where like you can see like moments where you see her falling in love with him. You know that I still find it ridiculous in the manga. She's just like the airhead type character that just falls in love instantly with whoever she meets, whoever savior it was, even if it wasn't Hajime. She probably would have fell in love instead. Uh, so basically where we're at, we saw how Yue and Shia during the training, Shia was able to get a scratch on Yue's face, and then like Yue just used her ice ability again to like have her trapped in a ball, and then she was cold and stuff like that. Man, like the reaction that she had towards like her tribe and also her dad becoming big buff like killers was a lot different than it was in the manga. In the manga, she was like very scared by it, but in this, she's like, you guys look a little bit different. I'm gonna be a dum dum like this anime. So far, 9 minutes, 16 minutes. I'm totally just unimpressed. Total disappointment. A lot of people in the comments of when I'm watching this also said that the beginning was a disappointment. I was okay with the beginning of this episode, but this portion, absolutely disgusting. I hated it. Can't wait to see what happens at the ending. But yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes to review the rest of this. Boop, 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 boop. Episode 7, Great Risen Labyrinth. What? He's not even going to visit that village that he went to at the ending of Volume 3? I guess not. I guess we're not going to see that epic scene with his plate. The plate scene that I really liked. Damn, man. That backstory with, like, Shia and her mother. Was that even in the light novel? Was it? Tell me in the comments. I really need to know because I don't know shit. That did happen in the manga. It was a good backstory, though, with her and her mother and then them talking about, like, how like, it would be good to be different because there's things that she can do that other people can't. And that would be a good thing. And after that, she had a talk with Hajime towards the ending where she was talking about how, like, if she works hard, then she'll be able to change the future, and that her feelings with him are set in stone now because Hajime said how like she wouldn't be able to like work in his hometown in the in I guess the normal world, but then she said that she can do it if she tries. So he just says sure whatever, and then like UA is being very regretful because she like bet in the duel that she'll win no matter what, but then she ended up getting a scratch, so now she has to come along with them. So Was that dungeon in Volume 4? Was that manga original, or was that dungeon this great risen labyrinth that I'm seeing? But yeah, it would be weird seeing him have this harem of girls come back with him to the real world if that's what happens at the ending of Arifureta, because that would be funny if he does end up going back and he has like a whole bunch of just people with him. Uh, but yeah, one thing that I like hate, especially in the manga, is like how they get to the tree. He like puts in the ring that he got from that glasses dude Orcus. He puts it in like this stone thing by the tree, and then it says, "Yeah, you can't come here right now. Come back later." It's like the ending of the manga, the last labyrinth is at the Great Tree. You can't get in the Great Tree without going to every single other labyrinth and getting more rings. So he just needs to get more rings, or I guess just two more rings, because like the only thing that it said is that he needs to have regeneration and he needs to have like something else, but they said that that had to do with the rabbits and also like UA, but then UA's regeneration didn't work on the tablet, so they have to get some other regeneration. But I'm pretty sure that they'd have to go to like I'm pretty sure I'm just going to assume that they have to just go to every single one, and then apparently they explain it more in the manga, but or maybe they explained it last time, like how he got a power at Orcus's place. He got creation magic, so I guess in this labyrinth or one of the other labyrinths, he'll get the regeneration ability, and it might not be him that gets it. It could be whoever who stands in that spell array on the floor that will get the powers. But yeah, he has to come back later. So then they leave. And then we saw a scene with like the Halia tribe saying how they'll come with him. That scene wasn't like that at all in the manga. Maybe it wasn't in the light novel, where they're like saying how we want to go with the boss Hajime because he trained us and we just want to follow him. But instead he says no, just stay here. Happened entirely different. I think they just let him leave, or I think they said that I think that they were more scared about them like being picked on. But then Hajime said, "You're trained, so so you can just stay here and then beat up anybody who picks on you." And that was what they said in the manga. So different there. But man, the way that this episode ended, just dude, like just that corny music that was a part of this whole entire like episode, just fades off into like the ending song. So wow, a whole volume in one episode. Like 5 or 6 chapters in this one episode. I guess that makes sense because a lot of people like have episodes that are like what is it, like 2 or 3 episodes, or 2 or 3, is it 2, 3, 4, or is it actually 5 chapters that are like one episode in animes these days? Because I'm pretty sure that is it 2 or 3. I don't know. Someone can do the math in the comments. But man, this episode, don't like it at all. Don't like it. Even I like the manga so much better. At least I read it. Man, if I didn't read it and if I just watched this episode, I would have been like I would have just thought that this was fact. But now that I know the real fact, I'm just like so disappointed, even more than I was disappointed before. But yeah, I guess I have to read Volume 4 because I'm probably gonna get disappointed next episode. I'll probably be even more disappointed because I'll know stuff that I'm not supposed to know. But yeah, if you enjoyed my review, my thoughts, my opinions on this episode, leave a like. If you didn't enjoy this whatsoever, leave a dislike. I'll see you guys in the next video, which might be my Volume 4 review or another anime review. That's going to suck because I'm not going to edit it. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm even going to edit this video with pictures. But yeah, like I said, I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, bye. See you later.